Hello people of the internet, my name is JD Shadow and I wanted to talk a little bit about the situation with YouTube right now and the issues that have to do with my channel and channels in particular and what that kind of means. So in case you are not aware, if you have not gone around and looked at YouTube videos lately and not have gone on to some of the vlog channels or some of the channels that talk about some more quote-unquote sensitive topics, more along the lines of entertainment and how some certain types of cultures are influencing how entertainment industries bring entertainment to us, bring different types of mediums to us. It seems as though YouTube doesn't like when certain opinions are expressed. Now, we're not talking about the most extreme right-wing opinions or the most extreme left-wing opinions. Of course, there are completely extreme, off-the-wall, beyond the pale conspiracy theorist viewpoints that YouTube should do something about. They should try to maintain some degree of order, and that's fine. That's completely fine. It's when you go into the more nuanced situations, the more nuanced points of view. And that's where YouTube tends to freak out when you try to thread the needle on some of the more controversial topics and you try to look at what both sides have to say and try to take the best of what both sides are saying and try to combine it into something that's more of a compromise where both sides can be happy. But here's the problem. Neither side is happy unless the opposing side is completely eradicated from existence right now. That's how divided we've become. We can't be centrist. We can't have that centrist point of view. We either have to be on the most extreme left wing of sides or the most extreme right wing of sides. If you disagree even in the slightest bit with anything that has to do with response to COVID, you are immediately labeled a COVID denier. If you are in any way opposed to anything that has to do with cancel culture or the woke scolds or what have you, you are deemed a racist, a homophobic, or a bigot, whatever you want to use in order to describe them. However, on the flip side, if you are in any way wanting diversity, you are automatically considered somebody who's for cancel culture or for wokeness. Not everything in these camps are bad, but not everything in these camps are good either. You have to look at it through a nuanced point of view. That's what being a centrist means. However, YouTube seems to not agree there. YouTube seems to be a place where right now, if you are talking about sensitive topics, no matter what point of view you give, the way that YouTube's algorithm will work is that, hey, you do not want to hear about this topic. No matter what your opinion might be on the topic, no matter what their opinion might be on the topic. It may be the most extreme point of view of a topic. It may be the most nuanced point of view of the topic. It doesn't matter to them. What matters is that you're saying about certain topics, you're talking about certain topics. That's what they're concerned about. And because of that, if you are caught in that web, then there's this hidden algorithm that exists within YouTube. And what happens is that your channel, your entire channel gets buried. Your entire way to earn a living is buried. And that is unfair to those people who want to talk about these certain topics. Because where else are you going to find them? Certain subreddits right now, certain places on Twitter are going to try to filter out certain points of view that they do not agree with. And that is unfair to those people who would like to hear what the other side have to say. Whether or not it be from the left wing or the right wing. It doesn't matter what wing you are from. It doesn't matter if you're a centrist. You have the right to hear all sides of a particular topic and to base your opinion on all those sides. Whether it be factual, whether it be something that is just a theory someone might have, whether or not you're an expert or just somebody who is on a street just talking about what you thought about what an expert had said, or if it's the right expert or if it's the wrong expert, or if it's somebody that is just spouting off. You have the right to hear all those different types of views. And if YouTube is filtering out what you should and shouldn't hear, and if they are punishing certain channels on a whole for one particular video they might do or one particular topic they might want to talk about, then that is unfair to that creator. And it's also unfair to the viewer that they're not able to find that creator or find that particular video. And it's unfair for that particular creator to not be able to earn a living based on what they're saying. And I'm saying maybe you let the people decide what exactly they want to hear, but they're not getting that opportunity. That's what we're saying. They're not getting that opportunity. And most of the times, even if you might not agree with what that person has to say, you might be interested in what that person does have to say. Maybe they might say something that might make you think, oh, I didn't think of it that way. Maybe they have a good point, even though I may not agree with everything they said. Maybe in that one point, maybe there was something there that I do agree with. Maybe that was something I didn't think of. Maybe I didn't think of it like that. Or if we do a review or a reaction to a particular topic or a particular game or a particular show or what have you. Or what if we say something about a particular game or TV show that production company thinks hurts their bottom line. That's what we do, by the way. That's what a review is for. That's what it's supposed to do, is to inform the public. And the review should be their honest opinion, not something that is bought out by a company in order to make it seem like a person independently liked it when in reality it was bought out. What if that happens and that company decides to find a video that we had in our back catalog and then say, hey, we're going to use that as an excuse to censor their point of view about our product. And because YouTube's algorithm is fixated in order to filter out these controversial topics being talked about, not necessarily whether or not we agree with what the stance of YouTube might be, is the fact that we're talking about it at all. That is also unfair, not only to the content creator to make a living, but to the viewer in order to give you all points of view. Like, for instance, people want me to continue on with the Miraculous Ladybug reaction videos, and I am more than willing to do that when I am finding the time to do that. However, what if for some reason I end up getting to Miracle Queen and I agree with the hashtag Justice for Chloe B people who thought that perhaps she was given a bad deal in that episode? I have not watched the episode yet, by the way, so I have no idea what happens. But what if I am right there with them, with the rational people who are behaving rationally? I know there's bad apples in every bunch. And then, say, Thomas Asker decides, hey, I disagree with the majority of those people who use the hashtag. I'm going to disallow JD to do reactions to that show anymore. Or what if On Entertainment decides they're going to use the DMCA weapon in order to censor the opinion upon it, whether it be for or against the episode? That is not only unfair to the content creator, I know I'm talking about myself here, but what if there was anybody else who had that same opinion? What if that were to occur? That would be unfair not only to the content creator, but to the person who is viewing it. Because they might want to know that perhaps it was one of their favorite content creators, whether it be me, Luna TK, or whoever else it might be, that disliked the episode, and maybe it's not just some sort of conspiracy theory they might have. Maybe more than one person might be thinking that, and they might be basing it on factual evidence, on what they saw, what they observed about the episode. And what if they use that algorithm of YouTube in order to say, hey, we can't censor their opinions through the TRS, so instead we're just going to use the DMCA takedown system, which they have done in the past, not necessarily On Entertainment or Thomas, but other people within the entertainment and the video game industry, they have done that before. Or they use the YouTube algorithm, look back at the back catalog and say, you know what, we're going to try to say, hey, their views don't represent our point of view. We don't want them to cover our content. And through that sense, one has to wonder what PewDiePie actually did say about Firewatch. Were the people who developed Firewatch really concerned about whatever PewDiePie said on some of his other content, or did he not like Firewatch? He gave his honest opinion, and they used the other videos as an excuse in order to justify why they didn't want him to cover their game anymore, which, by the way, he has every right to do because he is a reviewer. He should be covered within fair use. The people who are making Firewatch do not have the right to tell him they are restricting him from covering their game, because he has every right as a reviewer under your fair use doctrines to cover that game. Period. Thought. End of story. So does everybody else within the span of everything. But of course, the YouTube algorithm does not pick this up. And it doesn't seem like, even if you are one of the highest people subscriber-wise on YouTube, it doesn't matter. You can't get an answer to them. They are completely radio silent. You can't get an answer out of them. And even if you get an answer out of them, it is the most vague answer ever. They say one thing and then completely go and do something completely different. That is how it works on YouTube. That's how it operates. And it is a damn shame because the majority of opinions on YouTube are quite sane. It may be things you may not agree with, but the majority of people on YouTube know that the most extreme opinions are not necessarily the most well thought out opinions. And yes, I do disagree with a lot of things that people on YouTube say, but I will still watch their videos because I value their content. I value the work that they put into the videos. I value the work that these people do because I do it myself, and it is a hard process to do. And to try to skirt the line and try to figure out what is the best way to say certain things, and if that one video, that one thing is going to get you quote unquote canceled in the industry in the span of 20 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. And that brings me to myself. That brings me to what I have to say about the content of this channel, which is that, yes, you have noticed that my channel is a mixture of a lot of different things. It is reaction content, it is gaming content, it is my vlogs, and yes, I have gone and talked about the thing that has been taking a hold of the entire world within the past year or so. And yes, I have my own opinions about it because I feel as though they're not being talked about. They're not being talked fairly enough. But I know that people are not going to necessarily agree with me. That is fine. You're free to go into the comment sections and talk about what I said or give your own opinions. That's one thing that is always welcome within a lot of these people who create content on YouTube. The thing about it is that YouTube seems to not care. Even if you are on the most inviting people of different points of view, or if you're just somebody like Philip DeFranco who is giving the stories and then just letting you be the people who gives your thoughts about what the topic of the day was that he was discussing. Even that can get put through the YouTube algorithm and say, hey, we don't want people to hear about that story. Or, hey, this person's saying something about this sensitive topic, so people don't want to hear him also talk about the latest Miraculous episode. Not only is that not fair, but that doesn't make any sense. Why punish everything because of one particular video? Why make people have to go through hoops and all sorts of things to be able to see my reactions because I'm talking about other stuff on the side? It makes absolutely no sense to me. Why is it that I have to battle and scratch and claw to get people to know that I've posted a reaction because on the side I might be talking about something about woke scolds, or talking about something that I talked about on the special reports, or what have you? How fair is that to the people who just want to hear the reactions of a anime or something else that I've watched because of something else I said that the people who are here for the reactions may not even watch? That to me screams that is very unfair, not only to the content creator, which in cases is myself, but I do believe that other people are suffering through the same thing, but to the people who are not necessarily in agreement with what my viewpoints are, but appreciate the work that goes into it, because it takes a lot of work, especially with the editing. That takes a lot of time to do. And especially when I have big plans in the works on the horizon, which I want to really start working on, if those can't be viewed, if those can't be seen because of all of this, then that is going to be a major problem. So I might look for a few solutions for this. I might look to perhaps splitting up the content into separate sub-channels, or perhaps starting Patreon, starting to do that on a more regular basis, try to figure out how to get it to work to where you can donate to make sure that this channel stays afloat, because who knows what YouTube might do next. But the one thing is, of course, the splitting up of content, because what I have heard is that maybe if we put maybe the gaming content on one sub-channel, or maybe put the reactions on another sub-channel, or the blogs on another sub-channel, then that would free up a lot of things. It would make the reactions a whole lot easier to find for people who want to watch just that, or just want to watch the vlogs or the gaming content or whatever else I might be wanting to put up there. We can do a whole lot of other things and not have to worry about the YouTube algorithm hiding the entire channel because of one particular group of content that I want to create. So I want to create a whole bunch of different type of things. And you may be wondering, what the heck is a sub-channel? Think for a minute if you are looking at maybe a local TV station in the US. They might have 2 or 3 different sub-channels, maybe a 2.1 or 2.2. Maybe 2.1 might be affiliated to a major network like CBS or ABC or NBC or whatever. Or maybe the sub-channel might be to a secondary affiliation, or they might have one of those Me TV or this that shows classic shows or game shows and stuff like that. Or maybe something that is like a sports-oriented sub-channel or something like that. That is something I think we could try, to have it to where there's one main channel that has the entire catalog, and then maybe on another channel will be just the reactions or just the vlogs or just the gaming stuff, to see how people react to that. Or we may not have the mothership channel and then have the separate channels devoted to a particular kind of content. That might be something to consider. That way everybody gets what they want and they don't have to worry about something else clogging of the YouTube algorithm or if freak counts. Unless of course YouTube does something else and saying, oh, all your channels are going to be affected if even one of those channels have content on it that doesn't exactly mesh with what we believe people want to watch. And why should they dictate what people want to watch? This way, you have a choice and it's still in the same family of channels, which would probably be mine. So let me know in the comment section what you think about that idea, whether or not it's a good idea to do that in the sort of way that I want to do that. What do you think that we should do? What do you think we should do in order to defeat the YouTube algorithm, which is so bonked that we cannot get a break out of it? No one can get a break out of it. The other things, of course, is to be sure to subscribe to the channel. That helps out a whole lot. That helps out a bunch. If you are new to the channel and think, hey, this is something that I want to watch, even something maybe you don't want to watch for the time being, go ahead and subscribe, because that gets more notice onto the channel. That way we can keep doing what we do. Also, ring that bell. That helps out a whole lot to get notified about new videos that come out, because I don't have a set schedule right now. So be sure to hit that bell to be notified about latest content so you don't miss anything, and so the YouTube algorithm is defeated even more so. There might be no changes. There might be a lot of changes coming down the pipeline. So please stay tuned to that. Until next time, my name is Shady Shadow, and that just happened.